What's good, channel gang? Welcome back to another video. Before we start, please subscribe to the channel. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get right into it. What nobody noticed about The Rock versus John Cena. Now, I did say I didn't want to do a lot of reactions, but I feel like this one I have to do it. It's from my boy Patrick CC. I've been watching this dude for like a good minute. So, you know, I'm actually interested in what his thoughts about this feud is. And yeah, let's get right into it, man. This is 30 minutes. I may have to do a 2-part reaction to it. But yeah, let's get right into it.
On the surface, it seemed like the beef between John Cena and The Rock was nothing more than a typical scripted WWE segment. However, Cena would later admit that it was personal, and he meant every hateful thing he said about The Rock.
So it became a real feud between you and The Rock.
Oh my God, yeah.
This is the part where I'm supposed to say, I look forward to WrestleMania because I personally respect The Rock. I don't.
Now, it's interesting that Cena claimed to not respect The Rock when he followed his exact career path, becoming a WWE superstar, then leveraging that fame to secure opportunities in mainstream Hollywood productions. The Rock was loved in the WWE, but after he abandoned the business, he slowly ruined his public perception with his repetitive mediocre movies, pathological lies, hyperinflated ego, and stripping all of his humanity to become a walking advertisement. John Cena was one of The Rock's original haters, and he saw right through The Rock's phony character long before you and I did. And since then, he seemingly assessed all the mistakes The Rock made and now has the perfect blueprint of what not to do. And it's working perfectly. As The Rock's reputation is at an all-time low and his movies are bombing left and right, Cena's career is on a strong upward trajectory with no signs of slowing down. Today, we're going to analyze exactly how John Cena stole The Rock's legacy, becoming the actual people's champion. Cena and Rock had nearly the exact same experience upon entering the WWE. They both desperately needed a rebrand since fans were not connecting with the character or lack of character they presented. Starting with Dwayne Johnson making his WWF debut as Rocky Maivia in 1996. Nicknamed the Blue Chipper, Johnson was hyped as the WWF's first third-generation wrestler, as his father and grandfather led a historic wrestling bloodline. Rocky became the company's Intercontinental Champion and wrestled his first WrestleMania match within months of entering the promotion. However, fans did not accept him with open arms.
Rocky sucks! Rocky sucks!
WWF fans became increasingly hostile towards Maivia, with chants of "Die Rocky Die" being heard during his matches. Cena also had a tough time with the crowd in the beginning of his career. John made his WWE television debut on SmackDown in 2002 by answering Kurt Angle's open challenge. When asked what quality made him capable of being a superstar, he infamously responded that he had ruthless aggression, and then put on a well-fought match against one of the company's best technicians. Despite his good looks, babyface appeal, and being built like an absolute house, Cena was not resonating with fans, and there really wasn't much to like. He looked and felt like when you create a My Player in a video game and don't have any upgrades unlocked. Even though wrestling is scripted, how the fans react to the show is entirely real. Wrestlers can either lean into the fact that fans hate them and become the villain, aka turn heel, or try to figure out a way to get the crowd on their side. Both men felt their career was on the ropes, and both of them had a drive for success like no other. However, this is where Dwayne and John chose different paths. In August of '97, Dwayne deaded the Rocky Maivia name and referred to himself in the third person as The Rock. He had officially turned heel. Now portraying a self-absorbed narcissist, The Rock regularly insulted the audience, fellow wrestlers, and interviewers whenever he could. The Rock mastered the art of cutting promos, whether he was delivering one of his signature catchphrases like, "If you smell what The Rock is cooking," or roasting his opponents in backstage interviews, he had the crowd fully immersed into the world he created. It was hard for The Rock to remain heel because the crowd loved him too much, which led to him dubbing himself the People's Champion. In order to stay heel, he aligned himself with Vince McMahon, who was unanimously hated by the fans as he represented the evil wrestling corporation. This became the perfect setup for The Rock to feud with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was easily the fan favorite, plus he was already in a vicious battle with Vince. The Rock...
That is very accurate. Yeah, no. So far, so good. I'm liking where he's going with this. But yeah, let's get right into it, man. Let's keep going.
Rock and
But
Stone
okay.
Cold's rivalry could be considered the greatest feud of all time, as these two were the biggest stars in the Attitude Era, which is unanimously agreed upon as the best era for wrestling. But that's not just the fans' opinion, it's objective fact. In the late 90s, the WWE was at its peak in average viewership and ratings. It was looking like The Rock was going to steamroll into the 2000s and have a career as dominant and long-lasting as Hulk Hogan. But then he did the unthinkable. At 32 years old, while he was still the #1 draw in the WWE, he retired from wrestling and pursued a full-time Hollywood career. Some criticized The Rock, saying that he turned his back on the fans that made him, and John Cena made sure he would not make this same mistake. Right around the same time that Rock quit, Cena unintentionally saved his wrestling career in what can only be described as divine intervention. On the tour bus overseas, some of the guys are freestyling in the back. I just went in the back and waited for my turn and joined in, and just did the best I could to try to unleash the fury. And at the front of the bus was Stephanie McMahon. She was head of writing at the time. She was like, "How did you remember all that?" I kind of explained the concept of freestyling, and she's like, "Well, make something up about me right now." Sure enough, on the spot, I spit a few bars. After impressing the writers, John decided to go all in on the new gimmick. Inspired by hip-hop culture, he rebranded himself into a brash, freestyle rapping, street-smart wrestler who used rhymes to insult opponents and hype up the crowd. He wore baggy jeans, throwback jerseys, a backwards cap, and a
Classic look.
chain with a padlock.
You need to hit them sit-ups too.
Oh, I love
Not
this one.
exactly the leanest. Forget seeing me, bro. You can't see your own penis.
Fans loved when
What if recording high quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star
Have cat
is
cut,
as simple
motherfucker.
as
when Cena roasted wrestlers with his bars, but even they weren't safe from his ruthless rhymes.
That freestyle was whack. I couldn't wait for it to end. I got no wife, but you got a boyfriend.
Up until this point, the WWE embraced rock music to match its gritty aesthetic. Cena promoting hip-hop was a fresh change for the business. Plus, it was culturally relevant. In the early 2000s, rappers like 50 Cent were dominating pop culture while wearing baggy clothes and rocking diamond chains that spun. Cena won the titles and redesigned the belts to match that of a famous rapper. But that wasn't the only thing about Cena that hip-hop inspired. G-Unit rapper Tony Yayo had a signature move where he waved his hand in front of his face, and that simple move would have an astronomical amount of influence on John Cena's life. You see, John Cena was not just role-playing a rapper, he actually rapped, and to prove that, he released his debut album, You Can't See Me, in 2005. The lead single, The Time Is Now, would end up becoming his iconic entrance theme music. When playing the song for his little brother, he noticed his brother doing the hand gesture while vibing to the beat, which inspired Cena to do it on television to shout out his little bro.
50 Cent's crew had a really popular song called In the Club, and he heard it the first time, and instead of dancing, he did this. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, no, everybody does this, man. Everybody does this. And he's like, you won't do it on TV. So what the hell do I gotta lose? What am I gonna do, fire me? Of course I'll do it on TV. But instead of doing this, I did this.
The phrase, "you can't see me," was his way of taunting his opponents. It's kind of like saying, "you're not on my level." However, as a joke, fans took the phrase literally, pretending that Cena was actually in.
The amount of times I have to deal with the amount of times I legit had to fucking always go to people like, why didn't you take a picture with John Cena? Why is this woman hugging the air? This and that. It's like, bruh, I ain't gonna lie, it's annoying, low key. And I'm a Cena fan. I'm C Nation. But damn, that shit's annoying sometimes, man.
Visible, leading to countless photos and videos where people pretended to not see John Cena. Check any Reddit thread or comment section throughout the internet discussing Cena, and you will see some sort of joke referencing that they can't see him. The meme has held strong for decades. Just recently, Kai Cenat and IShowSpeed collabed with John Cena and both played into the joke.
No, who y'all talking to? Oh, why y'all talking to y'all so? What? No, we get with John.
Where's he at? Where's he at? John Cena. John Cena, where's he at?
From there, the internet took a liking to making John Cena related memes. It's hard to explain why, he's just memeable.
What kind of animal would John Cena be?
A tiger, because he has the
I wonder
eye
what that
of the
little girl's at
tiger.
now.
He does have the eye of the tiger.
Are you sure about that?
My personal favorite is Unexpected John Cena, which refers to a jump scare trend that interrupts
John Cena!
And
Really,
while
bro?
some other people would likely get annoyed if they were being made fun of by millions of people instead
Which
of
is
being
Dwayne.
praised as the biggest, baddest dude on the planet, Cena embraces the memes, and he doesn't mind being the butt of a joke.
And I never get offended. I love hearing it. I think it's extremely creative. It's something that's been in the internet cycle for so long, but it still never gets old.
John showing admiration for what most would deem as annoying is just one of the many reasons why he is seen as a man of the people. Just like The Rock, Cena quickly exploded to the top of the WWE roster and was the face of the promotion. And also just like The Rock, he stepped into an acting role as John Triton from The Marine. WWE Films, now known as WWE Studios, is crucial in expanding the brand beyond wrestling and into mainstream pop culture. They produced No Holds Barred, one of the first films that helped launch Hulk Hogan's acting career. The company also co-produced The Scorpion King, a film that introduced The Rock to Hollywood. Now, the WWE hoped The Marine could do the same thing for another superstar. However, Cena admitted that he was not ready to step into film. It was actually Vince McMahon who basically ordered him to do it.
Vince said, hey, I gotta send you to Australia. It's okay, what am I doing? He said, well, you're gonna be in a movie. Okay, when? I gotta send you in 10 days, but I pretty much left a small meeting in his office and packed my bags.
Even though The Marine received mostly negative reviews, it garnered over $22 million at the worldwide box office. As soon as The Rock got a taste of Hollywood, he planned his exit. Cena did the exact opposite. He
That's
wanted to
right.
stay in the squared circle and help boost up the industry that made him who he is.
Yes.
However, playing the role of a US Marine did help Cena shed his Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick. He retired the sports jerseys and massive chains and slowed down on the rap promos. Instead, Cena flipped his backwards cap forward, wore dog
Yes.
chains, and preached patriotic values of
My
hustle,
hero.
loyalty, respect.
Here we
As the
go.
face of the company, Cena held the WWE's most prestigious title for a combined 793 days.
Dang.
He would briefly lose the belt only to make a heroic comeback and reign champion. This was strategically designed by the WWE's writers to establish Cena as a strong, never-give-up hero for
Yeah.
their younger audience.
Right
And
here.
it worked,
That was for
but
me.
it also led to backlash from older fans who believed
Fuck
it
them
made the
older
matches
fans.
too
They dick
predictable.
riding right
This
now.
spawned the Cena wins LOL meme, which has led to deep discussions of Cena wins LOL moments where it was obvious that his special treatment in the WWE was the only reason he won.
I mean, he stayed loyal. He didn't leave. He sold the most merchandise. Why not? Like the fuck?
Taking a page out of The Rock's playbook, Cena aligned himself with Vince McMahon. John said, "Vince McMahon to me is more than anyone could realize. He's a close friend, a mentor, a father figure. He means a tremendous amount to me. I don't know if I'll ever be able to conceptualize how much I love him and how much he means to me. That's why I've invested so much of my blood, sweat, and tears. I don't want to see it fall off. I want to see it be everywhere. I want to see it be larger. I want to see it have more success." Wrestling fans' perception of Cena was divided. On one hand, people were tired of seeing the same guy dominate. On the other hand, it's great that the face of the company is loyal to the brand and wants to continue to see it grow. Unlike The Rock, who retired early and left the business in the dust. Despite being a WWE superstar, Dwayne Johnson struggled to establish himself as a leading man in action films. He only found financial success in family-friendly films like The Game Plan and Tooth Fairy, but they didn't
The game plan was not that bad, I ain't gonna lie. It's one of my favorite Rock films.
challenge his acting abilities, nor was this his ideal role in Hollywood. His career took a step in the right direction with his role in The Other Guys and lead in the action film Faster. By this point, he had spent 7 years as a full-time actor, and yes, he was successful, but he still wasn't satisfied. Lucky for him, a perfect storm was developing.
Nah, Fast and Furious. He low-key made that franchise annoying.
The Rock got an opportunity to be a part of the Fast and Furious franchise, which was a multi-billion-dollar global movie empire. If Dwayne's role as Luke Hobbs went over well with fans, it would establish him as the global action star he dreamt of being. This is why many people believe he only returned to the WWE 7 years after his retirement to maximize his publicity and promotion power, as his return was conveniently 2 months before the release of this monumental experimental film.
Right.
Then again, the WWE needed him badly at this point because they were a few years deep into what is now known as the PG era, and ratings were plummeting. The PG era refers to WWE's shift to family-friendly TV PG programming. This change was made to appeal to a broader audience, attracting corporate sponsors and securing lucrative TV deals. This PG era negatively impacted the WWE by stripping away much of the intensity, unpredictability, and edgy storytelling that made the company thrive during the Attitude and Ruthless.
I mean, man, you gotta evolve with the times, man. I get the Attitude Era was cool, but you gotta evolve with the times. And now the company is evolving again, man. So you just gotta evolve, man.
Aggression eras.
I understand where
they
we're all coming
eliminated
from.
blood, extreme violence, and risque segments, and introduced over-scripted promos, sanitized characters, and weaker heels, making feuds feel less personal and intense. The overexposure of Cena as a kid-friendly superhero alienated older audiences. The crowd would scream, "John Cena sucks," whenever he made his entrance. They were fed up and disappointed with the company as a whole, so they took their anger out on the top talent. This would have been the perfect time for Cena to turn heel, but in the PG era, it is nearly impossible to play a villain while still being kid-friendly. Plus, he was still the young kid's favorite. The WWE needed to come up with a villain the crowd could root for against Cena, and they brought back one of the best heels of all time, The Rock. And if you thought John Cena and The Rock's beef was nothing more than a fake feud for entertainment, you'd be wrong. The Rock made his long-awaited return in February of 2011, where he announced he would be hosting the upcoming WrestleMania. During his promo, Johnson took shots at Cena. The following week, Cena responded with a rap where he mocked Johnson's acting career.
It's because I wasn't talking trash, Rock. I was talking truth. You left us hanging high and dry to play a fairy with a tooth?
This feud went back and forth for weeks, with The Rock constantly embarrassing Cena by making fun of his bright-colored clothes, fake gangster persona, and kid-friendly appeal. It was then established that The Rock would face off against John Cena, icon vs. icon billed as once in a lifetime, at WrestleMania 28, making it the first WrestleMania match to be set up 1 year in advance. In the meantime, Cena continued to be the antagonist in the ring, night after night for a year straight, getting booed by fans during his feud with CM Punk. The Cena hate was not fake. The fans genuinely despised this guy. They were sick of seeing him win, and he had a chip on his shoulder. So when it came time to take some shots at The Rock, the line between reality and fiction got blurry.
You know what? Vince is probably going to find me for this one, but the only reason he came back in the first place was to promote Fast 5 and launch his Twitter account.
Cena felt like he needed to remind everyone that he was the one who stayed loyal to the business, he helped rising talent make a name for themselves, and that he will continue to remain in the ring even after becoming a mainstream superstar. But Cena was fighting an uphill battle, and the crowd favored the legend over him. He let his personal feelings about The Rock get the best of him and committed a cardinal sin in the WWE.
Just like I don't need my notes for my promo on my wrist. Nice tattoo.
Cena called out The Rock for writing his script notes on his wrist, essentially admitting that wrestling is fake. You can see The Rock stop dead in his tracks. This was a low blow, and many wrestling fans hated that Cena broke the fourth wall because he had no other way of competing with the legend. Others saw this as him simply speaking the truth, that Rock writing his notes on his wrist shows a lack of preparation and respect for his character in the WWE. The two continued blurring the lines between real and kayfabe when The Rock performed a concert where he mentioned Cena's rumored infidelity and divorce. Cena briefly brought back his Doctor of Thugonomics character, hoping nostalgia would win the crowd over. Cena later admitted that this was more than scripted entertainment. He actually did not respect The Rock.
I'm gonna jab this guy.
I mean, I understand why he didn't respect The Rock. The same reason he didn't respect The Rock then is the same reason I low-key don't respect him now. I'm gonna keep it a bug, man. The dude is just a walking ad. I don't think he really cares about the business, man. So that's just my opinion, though.
Because I have nothing to lose. I have all the leverage. Right. I'm there every day, and I love being there every day, and nothing is really pulling me away from being there.
But were you hurt that The Rock left? In other words, were you like, hey, he shouldn't do that? You got to respect the WWE.
No. I guess my angle came from the fact that he was openly saying, like, I love the WWE. And I'm like, man, if you love it, why aren't you here?
This drama continued up until their highly anticipated match at WrestleMania 28. However, the match needed to be choreographed, so Cena and The Rock had to be in a private room together a couple days before the event. Expecting bad blood, Cena was surprised when The Rock was professional, poised and enthusiastic to work with him. Cena realized his own ego was getting in his way and decided to do the match exactly how The Rock wanted to do it, which did end with The Rock securing the victory in front of 80,000 people in his hometown. It was a legendary moment for The Rock, and Cena did something that The Rock would never do. He apologized.
First and foremost, I went to his mom. And I said I was sorry, and I hope she understood everything that I was doing was just for business. And his mom is an ace. She was amazing. And then I went to him, and I always traveled with a jug of like pure Tennessee moonshine. And I went to him with a mason jar and said, this is kind of a tradition we have on the road now. I just wanted to share this tradition with you, but I hope you understand that everything, by the result of what just happened, I didn't put up any reluctance to take the 3 count. I didn't put up any reluctance to the finish. And I think it was in those 30 minutes that he had a greater understanding of, this kid's just a little ignorant. He was trying as hard as he could. He doesn't see the whole picture yet.
Business.
1 year later, they had a rematch at WrestleMania 29 where Cena got his redemption and won. Cena and The Rock had a respectful handshake before leaving the ring, signaling the end of their rivalry. Just like Cena predicted, The Rock left the WWE again to focus on Hollywood, while Cena continued to stay loyal to the company. The Rock and Cena's feud was the last glimmer of excitement in the WWE, as the company's sad and slow demise was ever present in the 2010s. Social media made it easier for wrestlers to diminish the illusion of characters and storylines. The roster was objectively more athletically talented, but the company seemingly abandoned all effort into storytelling. Additionally, WWE's monopoly over the industry left little competition, making the product feel stagnant compared to the more edgy and competitive eras of the past. I don't think anyone would blame John Cena if he decided to retire at this point, but at the WWE's lowest moment, he decided he would do whatever he could to help the company. He created the US Open Challenge, where each week he would come to the ring and allow any
The Rock would never do that. That US Open Challenge? Oof.
WWE wrestler to face him for the US title instead of strictly defending his title at pay-per-view events. By defending the title weekly, Cena elevated its status while also showcasing new and rising.
The US title felt way more important than the WWE title at this point. Let's keep it a book.
Talent, giving competitors in the locker room a platform to shine in high-profile matches. After 10 years at the top, the WWE finally decided it was time for somebody to take his spot. Cena had been relegated to a side character in major storylines. Gradually, he made less televised appearances and would sometimes disappear from programming for several weeks at a time. And that's because he, just like The Rock, was transitioning to Hollywood.
But here's the difference. The Rock wanted more money and more fame. Cena left because the crowd wanted him to leave. Can we please, I'm so sick and tired of everybody saying he did what The Rock did. No. The crowd, the older crowd, kept speaking their mind. And he said, you know what? Fine. You want new stars? You want something new? I'm going to give it to you. I tried with the mid-cards. I tried without getting any titles. I tried. Here you go. So can we stop this whole narrative of, oh, he left? No. The fans wanted him gone. Majority of the fans wanted him gone. They left. And then guess what? A lot of YouTubers that said, yeah, I can see John Cena leaving, we need something new. They were like, damn, it doesn't feel the same without Cena. The fuck?
Ancestry has this feature where you can colorize your photos.
Oh, look at the colors.
Cena ain't left.
Cena appeared in the war thriller film The Wall, a tense, minimalist story set during the Iraq War, focusing on 2 American soldiers pinned down by an unseen enemy sniper. He also reprised his role as Roger in the buddy comedy Daddy's Home 2, opposite Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. He also appeared in the animated comedy film Ferdinand, where he played the main protagonist. Ferdinand was a commercial success, and would be nominated for Best Animated Feature at the 90th Academy Awards. Meanwhile, the WWE's next new superstar, Roman Reigns, was quick to call Cena a hypocrite for becoming the thing that he hated about The Rock. He also claimed Cena ruled with an iron fist and used his power with Vince McMahon to constantly bury talent whenever he wanted, being handed opportunities that he didn't deserve.
You better play that
I'm
clip.
still here because you can't do your job.
Which was
the truth is, the WWE needed Cena, and he carried the company on his back while ratings dropped year after year. He had absolutely no problem helping new talent, trying new storylines, getting booed by the crowd, If it was helping the business, it was good with him. He remained the top guy because nobody else had the star power to take his spot. Now, it's hard to blame the individual wrestlers, as building up new talent requires great storytelling from writers, and also Vince McMahon and other corporate decision makers taking risks on guys. But at the end of the day, all of the greatest wrestlers have the ability to work a crowd and fully immerse them into their character.
No one does it
and
like
it's hard
Cena.
to argue against Cena being one of the greats. As John exited the WWE and entered Hollywood, he may have learned what made everyone despise The Rock's films and decided to go into the industry with the exact opposite strategy, by first being very selective of the projects he takes on. He said, "Step one is reading something and liking the material. My poor agent will be like, they're considering you for this, and I hate being a dick about it, but I'm like, send me the material. I know you think it's a great opportunity, but if you sign me up for this opportunity and my heart's not in it, it's going to suck. I'm going to suck, everybody is going to suffer, I'm going to hate promoting it, and we're going to set ourselves back. So send it to me and let me read it. If I enjoy it, then we'll talk." This is the polar opposite of The Rock's mentality. If he doesn't love the material, he will just change the entire story to benefit him. The Rock has a contract in every one of his movies that specifically says that he cannot lose a fight on screen. He also bashed his Fast 8 male co-stars, calling them candy asses that get his blood boiling because he didn't have creative control. We found out this rant was targeted at Vin Diesel specifically when a production source told TMZ, in part because Vin is a producer and has made decisions that didn't sit well with the former wrestling champ. Another source explained that Vin was having problems with The Rock because he kept showing up late for production, sometimes failing to show up at all. Even during the filming of his 2024 Christmas movie, Red One, he admitted to the criticism of him showing up 7 to 8 hours late for filming and even peeing in bottles when he wasn't near his trailer. But The Rock doesn't only throw little temper tantrums when he doesn't get his way. He once tried to restructure the entire DC extended universe just to give his role as Black Adam a more favorable outcome. Dwayne tries to sell himself as bigger than the movie, said a high-ranking Hollywood.
And that's the problem with this dude. He wants to be bigger than what he's doing. He wants to be bigger than his movie. He wants to be bigger than WWE. John Cena just wants to be a part of the process and just wants to be a part of something, man. That's why I always got to respect Cena over The Rock. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel, man. People be like, "Oh, Ricky, you a hater." I will. I'll hate on a guy that's a dickhead. This all dickhead shit, man. This dickhead
executive
behavior.
Who asked for anonymity. He's one of the few people who always thinks he's the most important person in any situation or room.
Yes.
Dwayne posted on his
a good example. Imagine this. Imagine you're known for wrestling, but your motherfucking ass is in the UFC with the BMF belt, and you're trying to make it all about you. First of all, Mike Tyson should have presented that belt, not him. What the fuck? Second of all, Nate Diaz, the biggest star, one of the biggest stars, and Jorge Masvidal, a man who at that point just became a big star too. They were the important point, the important part of that whole thing. They were the two fighters. This motherfucker try to act like he holding the belt like if it's his and shit, man.
Instagram, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change, hinting that he was going to try to make Black Adam the center of the DC universe.
Yeah, right.
It was revealed that the
Batman and Superman is
main issue behind the scenes was that Dwayne did not want Shazam to be Black Adam's rival, even though that's how the original story is written. Instead, he wanted Black Adam to fight Superman, who is a much more iconic mainstream character. Bro just wants Black Adam to be DC's Thanos and go up against Superman to lead to an eventual draw because his ego is inflated, and also he puts in the contracts that his character can't be beaten. But when John Cena got his chance to play a DC character, he did the opposite. He trusted the writers, directors, and actually satisfied fans with his role as Peacemaker.
And that's why when Dwayne did his movie, it flopped and it had a restart. And Cena decided to do his job and stay in his place. They keeping his character for this universe as well. See what happens when y'all don't be no dickheads?
James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Peacemaker is a violent, ultra-patriotic mercenary who is both ruthless and hilariously misguided.
I love betting on the NBA with FanDuel, especially when I've got the world's greatest basketball mind on my side.
That's where they hold him flat. Nothing like a bloodbath to start the day.
They call you Peacemaker.
I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it.
He also lost the final fight in the film to Bloodsport, something The Rock would never do. Cena's performance was so good he got a spin-off TV series on HBO Max.
There you see, Batman doesn't kill people.
Because he's a
He's a dark creature of the night.
He's a jackass who wrestles with murderers dressed like clowns and throws them in prison so they can break out of prison and then murder more people. Riddle me this. How many people you think Batman's indirectly murdered by being too much of a candy ass not to kill these fools who clearly need to be smoked once and for all, you wrinkly, Shar-Pei-looking dementia-infested
Beneath the bravado exterior, Cena challenged himself to portray a deeply broken man struggling with trauma, self-worth, and the toxic influence of his father.
You killed my brother! You killed Keith! And you're only right about one thing, I am a piece of shit! I'm a piece of shit for listening to you for all those years! I'm a piece of shit for not killing you in your sleep!
John Cena is the actor Dwayne Johnson thinks he is. While The Rock tried to undermine and replace decision makers at DC Studios, John Cena praised them.
What I will say is I'm very excited about certainly the new leadership at DC because I love James Gunn as a human being and Peter Safran as well. I have the utmost respect for them as professionals. What you will see from DC in the future is the heart of James Gunn. He is not going to leave anything on the table. He will not make a vanilla movie that says movie on the end of it and then serve it to you. He will take chances. He will be brash. He'll do things his way.
Look how he's talking about James Gunn. And compared to how the fuck The Rock was talking about Vin Diesel. I'm telling y'all, I'm not making this shit up. John Cena is better at every single thing than The Rock, including being a person. That's
his way, but you will get authentically his creative mind, which I think is brilliant. So whether the future of DC involves Peacemaker or not, as a fan and as a friend of James, I'm excited for the future of DC.
At this point, it seems like what Cena is doing is intentionally being the opposite of The Rock, because he said he would support DC's vision whether or not he is included in future films, whereas The Rock was asked to make a cameo as Black Adam in Shazam 2, but said no. The Rock is also a family man, and John Cena shocked the world when he said he didn't want any kids.
I also know,
which is him being real, let's keep it a book,
the investment that it takes. And my biggest fear is, as someone who's driven, many times stubborn and selfish, I try to approach the world with kindness and curiosity, but I don't think I'm personally ready, nor will I ever be, to invest the time it needs to be a great parent.
Even their Instagram accounts, which is a celebrity's main vehicle for promotion and public relations, couldn't be any more drastically different. The Rock uses his Instagram to relentlessly push his larger-than-life persona, but also tries to be relatable at the same time. He posts about him being the biggest, strongest, hardest-working man in the gym, who travels the world promoting his box office hit movies and is also the most electrifying entertainer of all time, all while having the perfect family, being humble, and having a heart of gold. Despite all of that, he claims to be just like you. One of his favorite ways to display that is with his cheat meals, because even though he is a 52-year-old with 262 pounds of pure muscle and an extremely strict diet, he needs some junk food for the soul, just like you. But these days, all of his cheat meal posts are interrupted with an ad for his tequila brand.
It's a case that I catch often. It's a case that you guys catch often too. It's a case of
so corny.
I caught a Wednesday night case of the and as you guys know, and for those of you who may not know, you catch the it's I'm gonna eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, listen to whatever I want. It's Wednesday midweek. We've worked hard. We've earned it. We deserve it. So let's go. So
bro, this dude doesn't eat these stuff. Y'all know that. These big ass cheeseburgers, like he just takes a bite for the picture or whatever, and he's like, all right, throw that shit away. Like, this motherfucker got money to throw away fruit.
The sushi train, which is rolling out of the train station right now. Oh, as you see, a frosted bottom.
He's so corny with it.
Right out of the freezer, how I like it. Terramana Añejo, which is my favorite. Very sexy.
This is the one thing that The Rock had that everyone unanimously agreed made him actually relatable and human, but he ruined that by now turning the segment into just an ad for his tequila brand. Every facet of The Rock's existence is a carefully crafted PR campaign to sell you something. The Rock started out as an American football player, so he purchased a football league. The Rock likes the gym, so he started a gym clothing brand. The Rock has a skincare routine, so he started his own wellness brand. The Rock likes tequila, so he started his own tequila brand. The Rock likes energy drinks, so he started an energy drink brand. Sign up for The Rock's debit card. Listen to The Rock's Spotify playlist. If there's an area of his personality or life that can be exploited for profit, he will do it. John Cena's Instagram, on the other hand, is quite literally just a bunch of random photos with no captions that he wants you to decipher what they mean. He has never posted a picture of his face. He doesn't disguise some life moment as an advertisement. He doesn't try to glamorize his life or tell you about it at all. He treats his Instagram like art.
It has become like art. And I think there's not enough vehicle for interpretation nowadays. Everything is presented and thoroughly explained. I want people to think for themselves. And I've dropped some serious clues and spoilers on there and like real inside baseball stuff. But if you're not looking for it, you don't know. And I don't care if you know, because that's not the point. The point is if you come to there as a forum, you can check out the images, you can get a look into my life, or maybe you can get a look in your own life.
And The Rock thinks that what his art is authenticity.
Do you consider yourself an artist? I have a theory about what your art is, but I'm curious what you think.
What I feel the art is authenticity. That's what this art is.
Perhaps this is the ultimate difference between these two men. The Rock will tell you he is authentic, and John Cena will just be authentic.
Yep. Perfect. Hey, no, I want this. Perfect. This video is fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect. It literally describes the two guys. Listen, regardless of how y'all feel about what this man said in this video was facts, bro. These two dudes are opposites. Like, I'm sorry, The Rock ruined his reputation. Homie's nothing but a fucking ad. John Cena, the dude is literally becoming more likable as he gets older. Like, bro, John Cena's in a retirement tour right now, while The Rock kept coming in and out of retirement. And let's be honest, I felt like if he didn't need the publicity for his movies and shit that he did, I don't think he would have never came back. Cena's literally about to hang it up this year, man. Yo, I love Cena, man. He deserves to beat that record. I can't wait to see his movies. I actually like his movies. I like some Dwayne movies, like the one where he was taking care of those kids in I don't know if it was a juvenile thing, and he made a football team with the movie had Exhibit in it. That was a pretty good movie and shit, but his movies are just all the same, man. But man, Cena though, bro, it's like he's the complete opposite of Dwayne, and that's what makes him, that's why I respect him even more, man. Like when I was younger, it was like, oh, I hate Rock, I love Cena, because I'm a kid, I'm thinking, yeah, I gotta root for my boy. Now it's like, bro, I gotta root for Cena because he's real, he's not phony. He's not. Everybody else is like so fucking fake, bro. Cena's one of the few celebrities that is so fucking real. But with that being said, man, I like this video. I'm definitely releasing this shit because I do reactions and sometimes I don't release them. I didn't talk as much as I felt like I would have. But it's like, what else is there to say that hasn't been said before about this situation? Cena's real and honest. Dwayne is, well, he's fucking Dwayne. Like, listen, you can be a fan of the Dwayne about Dwayne. You can be a fan of Dwayne Johnson all you want, but I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I'm Cena. I'm writing that. I know they're cool, chilling. They're probably texting each other, be like, "Hey man, shit, it was good seeing you." They're probably gonna take a picture in Toronto. But as far as like, if I had to choose, man, I'm going all the way Cena and all that. But with that being said, please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000. Watch my previous videos, and yeah, shadow out, man. Peace.